SMT Nation, we back. Nation, on the screen is a T-Mobile victory. But I'm here to tell you, if they want to remain in the lead, in the catbird seat, it's going to take a lot. Because someone's hot on their heels, and I don't know if T-Mobile can stave them off. Maybe a little bit while longer, but it's going to take a lot of work. Let me explain what T-Mobile's got to do if they're going to maintain their crown as the 5G king. I'll provide this, the link for the article here. This is the report from Ookla, the most recent collected data set and article on the state of the 5G networks in the United States. Link for that will be in the description. Ways to support us can be found there as well. Please do like and share this video. Subscribe if you're new here, and turn on the bell notifications icon to never miss an upload from the SMT. All right, folks, let's go over the data. Let's take a look at what's going on and explain how we got here. All right, folks, so basically what T-Mobile has achieved is over the last time they ran this test, or the last time they collected this data, Ookla reports that T-Mobile has improved their median download speed on 5G by 30 megabits per second. That's good. That's good. Remember, they are already pre-existing. You know, they've been the fastest. So trying to improve that and increase the speeds is going to be harder to do just by percentage, you know, and then by comparison, you know, you look on the screen, you'll see AT&T has a lot of ground to make up, right? Verizon was in their position last year, that sort of thing. You know, so it's hard to see huge improvements, right? You're going to see some more subtle ones once you get up this high in these speeds. But, you know, T-Mobile did a few things that allowed them to improve those speeds. So here's what they did. Obviously, the 2.5 gigahertz is a big piece of what they do when they create capacity. N41, 5G ultra capacity. Spectrum Auction 108, they were able to add and secure additional bandwidth to that frequency. Through that auction, they were able to get white space licenses to fill in the gaps where they previously had a small amount of bandwidth or none. Right there were probably some real troubled areas where they didn't have it. So that probably helps out the results. That increases median download speeds on a national scale. So some people may have had 30 megahertz of bandwidth. Some may have had 40. It may have doubled or tripled with the Spectrum Auction 108. So that's part of this, right? Additionally, and this is something they didn't talk about in the article, and I think Ookla should have probably done their due diligence in this, is the additional N25 bandwidth that was added to the NR or 5G side from LTE. The report doesn't talk about this, and I think they really should. More LTE is also going to be moved strategically, sequentially, occasionally from LTE to 5G in the next year or two. So we're going to expect to see those things to continue to happen. N66 will become more prevalent across the country, more of the N2 piece or N25 and stuff like that. Now, I was talking about how T-Mobile, you know, it's going to be hard for them to get faster, right? It's going to be hard for them to increase median download speeds to any type of scale moving forward, but they do have some levers they could pull. One of the things that I would say is upside for them is the U.S. cellular assets that they've acquired. If and when that is cleared and it's, you know, regulators do their thing, which I don't expect it to be an issue, they've got multiple frequencies that they're acquiring from U.S. cellular in the low bands and the mid bands. So that's going to help them. I think that's going to be an asset. That could help improve their situation a small amount, right? US Cellular is a regional provider. It's not a national provider. So it won't make a huge change, but it's something. More importantly is going to be the C-band and the DoD licenses that they have, especially in those key markets where they have high market share, right? And I think probably the most important thing, and T-Mobile doesn't like to talk about this, fiber circuits. They simply have to increase the capacity of the fiber circuits to their tower sites. More of their tower sites will have to move from 1 gig fiber circuits to multi-gig. They have to scale the 10 gig circuits. Now that means their operational expenditures are probably going to increase threefold, right? In rural America, it's even more than that. They might pay 5x for a 1 gig circuit what they would pay for a 10 gig circuit in the urban core, you know, to show you how things can be very tough. And sometimes a multi-gig circuit isn't even available in rural America. So there's There's a lot of things there that can make life difficult on any carrier, let alone T-Mobile, right? In order for them to increase their speeds, the bottom line, their operational expenditures are going to increase. It's talking about the fiber circuits, and their capex is going to have to increase. They cannot remain capital light in this model, right? They just simply will not be able to retain their 5G lead by being capex or capital light. It just won't work. So how T-Mobile got here, how they got their lead, right? How they've had it up until this point, it was the Sprint merger. It's been years. How do they stay in the lead is going to be capex related. It's network spending. They have a mobile network that they have to operate, and they grow and they add customers. And then B, they have a fixed wireless access 5G home internet that they sell, and they're serving both of those customers. So they've got median download speeds currently at 287 megabits per second. They just lost the median upload speed category to Verizon. That tells me they're going to need to densify. They're going to have to add more tower sites. Can't just be get more spectrum. That's just not going to be the case. You are going to have to densify. You're going to have to scale the multi-gig fiber circuit. More pops of N41 isn't going to help them at this point. They already have over 300 million pops of N41. So putting additional N41 pops in random places in rural America, it's not going to change this data set. It's good. It gets them in play for rural customers, but it doesn't change and move the needle in a survey or a category, a data collection like this. They're going to have to start deploying C-band. They've got 40 megahertz in some of those markets. They're going to have to deploy DoD, which is very similar. They're going to have to spend money to hang those radios and those antennas. And you can't put all of that on a 1 gig fiber circuit. It doesn't make sense. You're going to have 180 megahertz of N41, 30, 40 megahertz of C-band, an additional 30, 40 of DoD. Like, what are we talking about here? They're going to have to scale the fiber circuits. All this means spending money. And the densification, getting more cells, C-RAN, small cells, mmWave, they don't like to talk about these things. But if they're not careful, you're going to start seeing Verizon taking this category just like they took upload. And you got to remember something. Verizon is only averaging 100 megahertz of C-band national. That number is going to move to 160 very soon. They're scaling fiber circuits. They're densifying their network with C-RAN. Their capex is over $18 billion. T-Mobile's probably hovering around the $9 billion mark. They're going to quickly lose this title of being the 5G king if they're not careful. Maybe they don't want the title. Maybe they don't care about it anymore because all the advertisements I've been seeing from them lately have been about cost. They're trying to be the price leader again. I don't hear many conversations about, 5G leadership as much anymore. So maybe they've already pivoted and made that concession. I don't know. But this is not a video that's down on T-Mobile. This is a video that's about if they want to maintain that title. They may not want to. They may not care. Right? Maybe they've given up on this. Maybe they knew Verizon was coming and they couldn't care less at this point. You can't stop a train. But tell me what you guys think, and tell me what you think the outcome is going to be. You guys think T-Mobile will do the things that I mentioned in this video, or do you think that it's inevitable that Verizon, just due to their spending and capex investment into the network, is just inevitable that they're going to pass them? And I'll talk more about Verizon and AT&T in a later video. Stay tuned for those. Thanks for watching, but comment down below, y'all. Voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.